Hi Stampers, it's Kathy Hamrick again from Country Road Stampers. So glad you could join me again. Today I want to show you something that's from the Occasions Mini 2015 catalog, and it's our Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper. It starts out white, which might seem like a very unusual color to you. There are several different designs of this white. People would typically think this would be used for weddings, but I'm going to show you that we probably won't use it for a wedding hardly at all. So there's different designs. I don't know if you can actually see those, if I bring those up, if it'll be too much glare, but there are stripes, there's this leaf kind of look, there are little flower lines there, and there are stars and shells. I didn't realize there was a star. I had somehow missed that and I didn't see that one. So today I'm going to use the polka dot one right there. So like I said, they all start out white. Well, they are white so that you can change these to make them whatever color you would like them to be. So this little piece of paper right here started out just like this. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to change that and make whatever color you want. You'll just need to pick whichever design you like the best. So the first thing you got to do is make sure you have a decent workspace. And so I have this here on my rugged mat, which I'll get rid of in just a minute, because I'll show you if you don't pay attention, you'll have a mess. So I didn't pay attention and I had a mess. These are our little spritzer bottles, and if you don't have one of these, you need them. They're not very expensive. For this one, I've just poured in a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and the reason I use rubbing alcohol instead of water is because it dries a lot faster. So I've probably filled this halfway to 3/4 of the way full, and then I just took one of our re-inkers and dropped 2 or 3 drops in there, and if that didn't look deep enough in the color that I wanted, then I would add a little bit more until I was happy with it. When you go to mix these, you don't want to shake it up and down. If you shake it up and down, you add bubbles to it. So you want to just kind of roll it in your hands, and then that mixes it without adding extra air inside there. So I've got my little piece of DSP set down there. I'm just going to take my little spritzer, and I do want to hit it, and I just sprayed on it just like so. Now I can stop right there if I want and use this just like this, or I can really saturate it heavy like I did the piece I used on this card, and I got it really red, and I could have even made this deeper if I wanted to. But I'm going to stop right there because I want to show you, because of the design that is in this, those little polka dots, you can just take a paper towel and go right on there and wipe that off, and so that design really pops. So if you had some of the other designs with the stars or the stripes, excuse me, this would show up really vibrant with the difference there. So you can change this. You can use a spritzer. You can take sponges and sponge on there. You can even, let me show you this other one that I did. I've got this background, and the way I did that was I took our re-inkers and I took a baby wipe. You could use a piece of felt also, and I just put strips of the different colors. On this one, I used Daffodil Delight, Wild Wasabi, and I believe Coastal Cabana on those 3 right there. And I just put the different strips. When I first poured these on, I left just a little bit of space because they tend to spread and bleed out. So that makes them mix well. And then I just took my brayer and I just used it like a wet stamp pad and rolled on, and then just rolled on my cardstock till I got the look I wanted. If it gets a little dry, you can just take a water spritzer and just hit that with a little bit of water, and then I'll kind of refresh those colors to keep on going till you're done. Then again, you can just take a paper towel and wipe it off so that design pops a little bit more. Or you can just leave it. This one looks kind of I want to say rustic because I just used it on top of a couple of other layers of paper, so it's not real smooth, but I really wasn't looking for a really smooth design on this because I have some other plans for it that I'll show you next week when I get this piece done. So those are a couple things you can do with that designer series paper to get different looks. Even though it starts out as white, you can change that. So let me quickly get this out of the way because I want to show you something else while you're paying attention. Okay, so let me tell you first about this one. I said I was going to refer back to this. When you use the spritzer, make sure you clear out a wide area, because I didn't, and I think you can see I've got little splatters on my Twitter Pated and splatters here on my DSP. So we added little extra things. I had no intention of adding those hearts. So whenever you make a mistake, it's usually an opportunity to embellish. So that's what I did on this card, was added other embellishments. And of course the heart was cut out with our heart framelits. So nice easy card to put together. Didn't take me a whole lot of effort and work. The stamp set I use is one of our Valentine ones, You Plus Me, for the Twitter Pated greeting. So then I did another piece of the Irresistibly Yours, and this one I just kind of sprayed with a little bit of green and a little bit of yellow and just played back and forth with them till I was happy with the color. Then I took our Hello You Thinlits, used the same technique that I showed you before with the 4 dryer sheets folded in half, and popped that right out very easily. Because it's been so cold here, I decided I wanted to use spring colors and our spring paper. Now this is not in the Occasions catalog, this is actually in our large catalog, and it's all abloom, and it's a paper stack, but you can see those colors pretty much just scream spring. So that's what I used on these, and then once I got started, I had to do a few more using these. So, let me show you this one. I kept these nice and simple. This was using strawberry slush, and then the paper from All Abloom. Of course, the butterfly cut out. And this Best Day Ever is one of the celebration freebies. That is, Best Day Ever is what it says. And I just stamped that in strawberry slush. I wanted to keep this nice and simple because I'm probably going to use this for gifting cards to give to someone. So I didn't want to have labor-intensive cards. I wanted to do several and have them to be easy. Then my final one is this one. And there's some unusual things on this. This is our new jute ribbon, and it's quite wide, easy to cut. As you can see here, I just cut it right down the middle. This stuff is easy to fringe. You can just cut it and pull it right out to fringe. You can change it to whatever color you want. You can lay it right on the stamp pad if you don't mind getting your fingers dirty, as you can see. And you can just rub that right on the top of the stamp pad surface. Or you can take your stamp pad, lay it down, put the jute right on top of it, and take your brayer and just brayer on it if you don't want to get your fingers dirty, and change the color of your jute ribbon. Once again, you can cut it. It is very easy to work with. You can cut it right down and make little strands if you want, instead of having wide pieces to work with. Just cut it and use little strands to tie. It works like linen thread. Actually, it's easier to work with than linen thread is. So this is a good purchase that goes a long ways. Now, I do want to show you something here that's a little different. Where did I get this unusual little backing to go behind my verse? Well, let me show you. There's what it is. And this is a risky thing for me to do today on here because it'll probably goof up on me. This is using our scalloped tag topper punch. And so I played with this because I wanted something that kind of mimicked the shape, but not exactly, to go behind this piece for the artisan label. So I've cut this little square just under 2 by 2, just a hair under, so it would fit into the scallop punch. Now, the trickiest thing is getting it lined up, and that one, oh, if I had just left it alone, it would have been fine. Now I had to get my fingers in there and mess with it. You're just going to line it right up on the back of your punch, and see, you just have it so it's right in the middle there, and punch. Then I'm going to slide that out. And I'm going to take that straight in and go right back in again. And I'm going to line that up again. And you can see where that's lined up there. There we go. You should be able to see that punch. And lay my punch aside. And right here's that little design. I didn't get quite as good a job on this one as I did the other one, of course, because that was because you were watching me. But this makes a great little background stamp to go behind some of our other images that we don't have something that fits that tight. And if you wanted to change it a little bit bigger, you could make that square a little bit bigger than 2. I mean, you can't make it any wider than 2 because it has to fit inside the punch. But you could make it a little longer if you wanted. So something cute, just a little bit something different to give a try. Okay, that's all for today. Hope to see you back again tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by.